Hello, all you heroes and ghouls, and welcome to another long period between edition of Jeff Rambles, where I just talk about whatever's on my mind at the moment because I don't have something else ready because I am not a professional in any regard. No, I actually was supposed to have a Ghost of Tsushima ready to go today, and then it just didn't happen because last night was absolutely exhausting. I couldn't finish editing it, and then that's just where things went. And I didn't want to put the next cotillion that is ready out because I want to space those, every other upload. And if I did 2 in a row, you'd probably be expecting the big finale on this Friday, and that's not quite ready yet. So, all is all as is. So, here today, I decided I was going to go ahead and talk about, well, first off, you can see right off the bat that my background for my little quick before going into work recording of Jeff Rambles is different. And that is because the county that I work for decided to no longer lease out the free parking lot that I used to use, which means that now I have to pay for parking in the parking garage, which sucks, and it's mandatory, and I have many opinions that I won't be sharing about that, but that's the reason for the change, why it's so dark, why I have these lights on. That's where that is. So, first actual thing up on the list here to talk about is a lot of the big projects I was doing before that haven't come out in forever. First off, that you would remember would be, Fighter's Passage, where I put out the 6 fighters that I would personally choose for Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass Volume 2, and the Tournament of Links, which is much more recent, but yeah, those big projects just haven't been making any headway for a couple reasons. The first one being the sheer amount of work that goes into them and the extreme lack of time that I actually have due to the fact that, I do work full-time. My wife works full-time and she is in school, which means that I have to, take care of our son for most of the time, which is perfectly fine, and I love him so much, but that's a huge time sink, of course, and that just does not leave very much time unless I want to burn the midnight oil, which would adversely affect my ability to do my actual day job. So yeah, big projects are just something that I really, really wish I could put a lot more investment into, but I can't. And it sucks, and I hate it. I hate it. I get excited about a big project that I really, really want to go for and do. And then I get the groundwork laid out, and I can get a first episode going because my excitement carries me through, and unfortunately it adversely affects my ability to sleep and function in other places. And then I realized that I can't actually keep going that way. Yeah. So for the time being, neither of those are going forward right now. But I hope to be able to jump back on both of them. Hopefully Fighter's Passage I'm able to do, before the whole roster gets revealed and implemented. Because, we have we got the representative from ARMS, whose name I can't quite remember at the moment because I never played it, and then we got Steve from Minecraft, and I think there's a good chance that tomorrow at the Game Awards we're gonna get another reveal. There's been a lot of talk about big news happening tomorrow, which would be awesome because as far as reveals and gaming news goes, last year the Game Awards was not very it just didn't have a lot to it. And you notice I just suddenly started staring off camera for a minute. It's because I just noticed something. There's a power box outside of the parking garage. I can see through the fence that somebody painted to look like SpongeBob. So let's see if I can get that in view here. I don't know if you can see it or how well you can see it, if you can. But it's out there. That's pretty funny. Oh dear. It just caught my eye and I'm like, what? So I just had to glare at it for a bit. So that leads me directly into my next thing, which is I've started another big project. Just so stupid, I know. This is one that I'm doing a lot of planning for, like during my work breaks and whatnot, though. It's not one that, for the moment, requires me to do a whole lot of scripting or shooting until much later in the process, because it's way, 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 way bigger than everything else I've done put together. I know, crazy, right? Like, who knew the solution to being able to get to do a big project would be to inflate it to a massive size and do a much, much bigger one that requires way more planning. Hopefully, I'll be once the time comes to actual scripting, writing, and shooting. I'll be, life will have moved on to a point where that's actually more feasible. Because right now, it would not be happening. But it's such a long-term goal that honestly, by the time I'm at that point, it might be possible. So for anyone who does not follow my Twitter account, or does not, or does but just hasn't seen it, because I don't talk about it too often. I am creating my own Pokémon region, the whole region from the ground up. The landscape, the people, the towns, many brand new Pokemon, regional variants, regional evolutions, all that good stuff. And I'm going to be presenting it in the format of the local professor doing research logs. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's already a lot of fun for me, and I'm hoping to be able to showcase some stuff for you. I'm going to, need a good number of artists backing me on it. And I've said many times before, unfortunately, I cannot afford to pay very much to commission things for people, which sucks, because I absolutely believe that artists need to be paid for their work 1,000% what they're worth. It's just an issue of not being affordable to me on a personal level, and that sucks so much. But I do have some artist friends who are willing to back for minimal compensation. If anyone else wants to participate in that way, let me know. I will feel bad about it, just so you're aware. I'm not one of those people who thinks, oh, exposure, or, well, it's so easy, come on. No, it's absolutely work. It is hard work. It takes much, much, much practice, even on individual pieces, and a lot of time investment, a lot of resource investment. I'm not blind to that fact. The basics of it here, it's the Centeal Region. Based on my home state of Colorado and the surrounding Rocky Mountain and Greater Plains areas. So we have, arid desert, lots of mountains with a lot of varying ecosystems around, Great Plains farm area, a lot of Native American mythology being involved, including with the legendaries and in just everyday stuff. A lot of local cultures, customs being involved. And it's been a great, great time. Hey, look up the Emma Crawford coffin races and tell me that that's not something that would be amazing translated to a Pokemon region. They're going to have regional Coffigurus. I know I'm butchering the name. I'm sorry, it's super early, and like I said, tiredness. Regional, the Yamask evolution, Coffigari, regional version of that sarcophagus Pokemon has a coffin that's a race car. And a lot of other really cool stuff. Natural springs that are going to be important instead of badges. You collect vials of spring water from the towns, from the gym's spring that it's built around. Lots of really cool stuff that I have coming down the pipeline. The name Centeal comes from the fact that we are the Centennial State, which means that we were founded and ratified as a state 100 years after the original signing of the Declaration of Independence. So 1876 was when Colorado officially became a state, thus the Centennial State, thus Centeal, which I had voted by people on Twitter, along with a couple other name ideas that I had. Oh, it's going to be a huge undertaking. It's already a huge undertaking. I've got a spreadsheet of a couple hundred Pokemon, some existing, some regional, a whole bunch brand new. And I've kind of got most of the Elite Four down. Gyms I'm still fussing out, but there's so much planning, so much work going into it. There's going to be so much tweaking all over the place. So it's going to be a while before the first thing's out about it, but I'm super excited, and I'm just keeping the momentum going on it. And the fact that I can actually sit here and plan this out for several months and before anything needs to be put to actual video format is a huge boon. So with that in mind, guys, hey, I got to get going into work. I'm doing a ton of overtime because that's the only way I can afford to live anymore. It's sad. But hey, thank you all for stopping by. I hope that you're excited by this project. And hey, if you have, if you want to participate in any way, throw out ideas, provide art, just be a general sounding board for my own ideas, then by all means, leave a comment down below. Hey, like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, because what are you doing? If you're just sitting here watching my off-the-cuff, randomly recorded BS in a dark parking garage, then clearly I appeal to you in some way. So that all out of the way, guys. I gotta get going. So have yourselves a fantastic rest of your day. You all deserve to pump yourselves up with a great big hell yeah!